So the fact that you are so kind of focused on self-expression means that you're not willing probably to put, Cityville ads on the upper right corner, which is how Facebook makes most of their money, right? So does that, create a tension between kind of, at some point, I know you have great investors who are very patient, but at some point, I would think there'd be some tension between kind of monetization and keeping it sort of pure.
I mean, one of the things that they made us realize, because we were really eager to do our Tumblr Pro in the first year. We were ready to have a Flickr style Pro account that would cover the costs of the rest of our users who were using the service for free. And our investors really, it took a little while for me to really see why they were pushing us in this direction. But I look back and just so appreciate it now. Making money off of Tumblr would be incredibly easy, even without really compromising the existing, even without really disrupting anything that we have there now. Part of that is so much of our traffic now is driven through the dashboard that if we put one cheap AdSense ad on there, we would be wildly profitable tomorrow. So the question is, can we get to wild profitability with features that actually enhance the community? And we've started to find that with things like our theme marketplace, where our users have a shot at paying $9 for a beautiful, super customizable theme, where most of that $9 goes to a designer who now gets to pocket sometimes tens of thousands of dollars every month and is able to quit their day job to just focus on building stuff for the Tumblr community full time.
That's awesome.
That stuff is really cool, and that's the kind of stuff that we've been able to discover. Frankly, that's stuff that I never really would have imagined would have been a real viable thing for us. By taking time and playing with real features like that, paid features like that actually enhance the experience for our users. We've been able to discover some really awesome stuff. And again, that's something that I'm very grateful our investors pushed us to explore.
It's like Fred and Bijan and
very much. And Brad Burnham at Union Square.
Brad. About scaling, how do you balance sort of your time between sort of future product features and just sort of keeping the ship afloat?
We had a much better balance, I think, before growth really accelerated over the last sort of 6 months. Scaling has absolutely slowed down our product roadmap over the last couple months, as we've had to just put all hands on getting our infrastructure ahead of all of this growth that we've got. Normally, the split is basically that we have a product team that does front-end development, designs these features, can basically realize the whole interface to a feature, and then hand that off to a back-end engineer to build the databases behind it, get the APIs ready, make the feature work. So it's generally a handoff between engineers and product front-end designers that kind of get a feature to completion.
And on monetization, I remember years ago I pitched Fred my first company, which is called Site Advisor, and we had a business model idea which was to basically sell premium products, kind of like in the same analogous to your sort of themes, selling themes to users. And Fred said, the best businesses on the web are always ones where the business side pays. I guess this was before he got into the freemium model or whatever. So it would seem like, and this is sort of, you look at Google, so the advertiser's paying, right? And so for the user, it's free and it's sort of seamless. Do you ever envision something where there's like sponsored, posts or something that sort of fits into the kind of like something, let's say like what Twitter's kind of maybe contemplating, like promoted tweets or.
I think absolutely. I think promotion and visibility is something that is incredibly valuable currency on Tumblr as much as anywhere else. I think especially on Tumblr actually, as people are creating things that they're really proud of, and the idea of getting 10 times the response on something or having something seen by millions of more people that would otherwise see it.
It seems like there's value on both sides, right? Because there's people that want to find more stuff and they would probably like it, right? And then there's now that you have more big media companies, for example, coming on Tumblr, right? Like they clearly they're willing to probably pay to
absolutely. And interestingly, we right now make them all play by the same rules. So for our current promotion tools, which is, by the way, really probably underpriced and very just rudimentary at the moment, where people pay between $9 and $49 to promote themselves in a directory right now. So they get to put their blog up at the top in the fashion directory or in the health and fitness directory. And right now, the same threshold that applies to Vogue applies to your blog, where you need to have a certain number of followers, you need to have been a registered user for a certain amount of time, and then we'll give you the privilege of being able to pay to get even more traffic and attention to your blog.
And what do you think about, so there's rumors out there that you are sort of focusing on fashion as one of the first verticals, and that, you know, is that something where you can imagine somebody's fashion blogging and then actually like people are going and buying stuff and you're part of that purchasing process? Or
Oh, I haven't even thought it that far through yet. No, I don't think we're thinking about that so much as means to monetization. That's really a community effort that I think we've been really bad at to date. I think we've been incredibly lucky to have all of these creative communities show up on Tumblr, but we've done really little to go back into those communities and figure out what we're doing right or what we're doing wrong or what we could be doing better.
So the fashion rumors are just more about just new ways to kind of cultivate communities, not about monetization.
Absolutely. So that was, and it was partly because we had the guy, Rich Tong, who was just out of a company that was acquired last year. Is just a really spectacular community and fashion guy who, you know, really understood the space much better than we did, and really understood what was going on Tumblr. So we said, you know, do you want to be our liaison to this community? Do you want to figure out what we're doing right, what we could be doing better, and do you want to represent this awesome community as it's growing on Tumblr? Mm-hmm. That's something that we really want to do for all of these communities that are there and haven't done to date. So just putting the first toe in the water.
Okay.